Hello, I'm Mel, and it's May. And that means, of course, Mermay time! This year I decided to do something a little more intensive, and with the help of some friends, I'm proud to present the first of our 2022 Mermay videos. Just as a heads up, this series is going to include topics such as religion, illnesses and disease, loss, and death. Please take care of yourselves, watch with caution, and enjoy!
I was never one to worship the gods, at least not in the traditional ways of tattoo and song that my people were so very fond of. It was my brother, actually, who chose that path, became a priest, as you called him, and spent his life in service to the spirits. It was not unheard of for the especially sensitive to receive visions from the stars. Strange wisdoms, glimpses of the future, or clarity in our decisions were sent to only a select few. And years might be spent untangling the meanings behind the cryptic visions. My brother was well known towards the end. The harbinger, they called him. A prophet of the end. An omen, I think, would have been a more appropriate title. Dear Helia, who tried to warn us, who believed that we could just change our fate. He was the best of us, and in the end, that changed nothing.
Alright, so earlier you mentioned something about the spirits?
Oh, yes. Spirits is not quite the right word, but it is the best one I can find in your language. Helio was sworn to what you would call our moon. He was one of the many priests in their shoal.
There?
They who control the tides rule over the rest of the stars, and there are many who follow them into the great temples, full of quiet song and scheduled sermons. But I found that my worship was ever present, the nights that I worked under their gaze and the days I felt them judging, even if I cannot feel their light. We gave thanks to them and lived under the scrutiny of that distant, glowing gaze. And I knew, as we all did, that when we leave this world, they sentence us to our place in the next. Our worship may be strange to you, with your tomes that speak of love and forgiveness, but we do not follow them for love. They see all, and they do not offer exoneration.
For a personal example, let us look at Milo, a stunning example of the
Humu humu nuku nuku apua.
species. Milo is also my pet, and he's a very good boy, I'll have you know, or he was. Here, if I may point out, we can see the rarely explored emotional bond that can form between these creatures and their keepers. When you raise one from a young age, as I am and my partner did, or grow up with such a companion, as in the case of many young mer, it may be difficult to move on from their passing. There is more material I could teach, but I find that I am tired today. Class dismissed.
I couldn't tell you why I'm here. One of the last. Don't have a story to tell or some heroic life to entertain with. I cooked, decorated my home with trinkets I bought in the markets. Mine was a quiet sort of existence. I grew lilies, I suppose, in the shallows near my home. Our world did not have much shade, and such plants were a comfort.
My name is Guardian Keir, sworn protector of Region Imani, second authority to Chol 14 and, well, I guess that doesn't matter now, does it? My apologies for losing my composure. It's the farm you asked me to talk about, not my career. Before I joined the shoal, I worked with my family outside the boundary of the city. Nori mostly, for those who lived in the capital. I do not remember much about that life. Guardians, especially those for nobility, start their training young, and I began earlier than most. But I shall try. It was not a terribly complex process, at least from the outside. We took nets made of braided rope and hung seedlings from them before laying them out across the sands. As long as you do not disturb them, the plants do not need much help. The seed feeds and waters them, and all that's left is to haul in the nets and ship the plants when the harvest comes. Nori is not the most interesting thing, not by itself at least, although my siblings found much joy in raising the crop. My father gave them that passion, I assume, but I found more entertainment in chasing the minnows and trying to trap them in our nets. Oh, how much trouble I caused as a child, despite my father's best attempts to corral me. It is odd, though. I find that I do not miss my family, at least not how I should. The training of a guardian leaves little time for homesickness, and those in your shoal become your new brothers. Grief comes in strange forms, and mine, well, mine does not hurt in the right ways. Well, I'm not much of an authority on agriculture, I am afraid. I apologize that I was not able to provide the information you seek.
Oh, I couldn't give you all of my recipes, even if I had another lifetime to do it. Just taste as you go, don't overseason, and things will work out in the end. Soup is a lot like life in that way. Best when it's shared with the people you love, and no one can tell you exactly how to make it your own. You learn what you like and don't like, but no pot will come out the same. I've never made a perfect pot of soup, and I'm still figuring out how to live, even here, at the end of it all.
May 3rd, 3025. Subject does not respond to audio or visual stimuli. Vital signs stable. May 4th, 3025. Subject remains unresponsive. Vital signs generally stable with intermittent periods of elevated heart rate. May 7th, 3025. Subject is observed with unconscious eye movement in response to auditory stimuli. Information acquired from other individuals indicates subject may be afflicted with a degenerative...
I am Imani, last high authority of the mayor. You will not call me subject again.